This video is sponsored by CHAKRA 17. Awaken your vitality with our anti-aging coffee.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the monthly podcast with Pure. And we got back returning good brother and co-branding partner, Ian Farrar, who's been with the company for well over 20 years and has been wholeheartedly endorsing the product, using it himself in his athletic and personal exploits. And he's here to share with us his latest insights for the month of October, now that we are into the fall and we're going to be having weather changes across the country in a much colder fashion. It's going to be more important than ever to protect ourselves health-wise and our respective immune systems. If you're new to the podcast, please do like, subscribe, and share. Helps the channel grow and others to gain in the knowledge you're currently being afforded. Ian, welcome to the podcast. How are you, brother?
Thanks a lot, John. It's great to see you. Sorry I've missed you the past few podcasts.
It's good to have you back. Dave admirably filled in your absence, and he sends his regards. And I wish you, since we haven't talked in a while, I wish you a happy post-belated Yom Kippur. So thank you for that.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. Okay, so where do we begin with this? So we're going into a weather climate change. This always happens every year, but this year in particular, I know President Trump said it's going to start getting colder. A lot of different people are sort of discussing the notion that we're going to have probably one of the coldest winters in fall. We've already started to see in the Northeast, parts of the Northeast, leaves coming down earlier than usual. You know, you're starting to see the elements of it. And other parts are getting hotter, but that will all shift. What products beyond the norm do you recommend for our audience in terms of keeping their immune system now boosted up and being able to help supplement that going into the colder months?
Yeah, well, this is a really great topic to discuss because, you know, weather has an impact on the stress load of your body. Okay, so if you're very stressed because it's really cold out and you work outside or you're in and around weather, that could drop your immunity because of the stress component. But, you know, people hear about vitamin C. Most people don't understand vitamin C, but, you know, whole food plant-based vitamin C is different than the ascorbic acid, which comes from corn more often than not, which is genetically modified, which is to stay away from, like emergency, you know, ascorbic acid that's in a lot of products you see at Walgreens, CVS, and even in health food stores and Whole Foods for that matter. So getting on a good quality vitamin C that Purium makes, for example, they make a product called C from Nature, and it's full spectrum, you know, whole food. And then Zinc Aid, because of course, you know, zinc actually really helps your immune system. So is A, E, C, D, E, and zinc. So those two products are really important, and getting good quality sleep, because when you get good quality sleep and you reduce the amount of screen time, okay, because when I go to sleep, I'm not looking at my phone. My phone is shut off. It's over there, and I get that deep, restful state of sleep.
Yep, and I turn off my Wi-Fi as well, which always helps additionally, as you well know. Yeah, I just ran out of my Zinc 8, so I'll be picking some up next week at the factory or the distribution center that's on my list. And when people go to the channel, they can see, I believe, a breakdown in the shop of the online products of specific. So talk about that a little bit, some of the packages for the immune system specifically.
Yeah, the immune, like there's Purium recently rebranded a lot of the products into biohacking packs. So if you want to biohack your athleticism, you want to biohack your immune system, you want to biohack your sleep, you want to biohack your hormones, there's various product groupings that will help your body. Doesn't make a difference where you are in life, but it'll help your body in those regards, because the active constituents, you know, the ingredients that Dave formulated will help you biohack, which is another word for, or another, you know, are words for working with your biology and not, you know, and not against it, if that makes sense.
Completely. Yeah. So I'll be working on that. That's my next focus, and I'm sure a lot of people as well. And that's why we're talking about it. So as always, one of the staples that I use, I've shown this before, is the if you can see that, the Power Shake.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have you in a moment talk about that, and I combine it with the dark berry protein.
Yeah, that's
it's
fabulous.
Not just about the taste, but it helps with the collagen aspect for skin and so forth. And then also back that up with hair, skin, and nails. So it's a nice, you know, 1-2 punch. So if you would kindly, Ian, talk about those products a little bit, please, and all the different benefits thereof.
Yeah, the Power Shake is a product that I've been using for 22 years. It's kind of the nutrient dense component of my shake regimen. You know, so I'm putting 2 scoops in there because I still have the old scoops. The company's now plastic free, so it's 5 tablespoons, which is a serving. That's going to give you the nutrient density of 6 salads. It's an excellent product. It's a palatable product, and it's really going to give you a lot of that nutrition that you need. A lot of that nutrition you need, because most people are eating food that's been genetically modified, microwaved, with no nutrients in it. It's just a bunch of calories that stress the body out. So the Power Shake is an excellent way to get your nutrition on a daily basis.
Yeah, thank you. And the other thing I always recommend to people when they contact me in my circle about it, because it's easy to get flavor fatigue even with the stuff that tastes, at least for me, I've made the adjustment pretty good. We've talked about it, whether you're using filtered water or various types of milks, almond milk, whole milk, so on and so forth, to supplement it with fresh fruit. And you can add that into your regimen anyway, which just enhances the flavor. So that's something that I've suggested and done as well. It's worked well.
Yeah, I actually blend the Power Shake with the dark berry protein that you just had in the screen, and that's it's not a collagen product. It doesn't add, there's no added collagen. It actually has all the fruits that will actually help your body build collagen. If you see a collagen subtype of protein that's hydrolyzed protein, really doesn't work. It's a bunch of marketing. So I blend those two together, okay, with blueberries, okay, with water, and it's quite awesome. Okay, really, really great stuff.
Now let's back up on that, Ian, for a second, if we could, because I don't want to gloss over an interesting sub point you just made with respect to the collagen or the dark berry that I just showed. The standard American diet talks about 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, etc.
Right.
How many of these in an average serving would that comprise, and how many per day would that make? Would that make up the difference?
You're hitting it. You're hitting it with the Power Shake and the dark berry protein. You're hitting it. And if you add in our apothecary, which is the concentrate liquid that before you go to sleep, that has 9 servings of fruit. Okay, so the dark berry protein, if you look at the lineup of fruits in there, it's pretty awesome, because most human beings today are so deficient in that, you need 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables. Growing up, I remember hearing that most people are not getting that. They're getting their carbohydrate, their fat, and their protein from somewhere, and they're malnourished. Okay, they're eating Chick-fil-A, fast food, Chipotle. They're eating all of these substances, but they're not really getting the phytonutrients. Those 2 products are very phytonutrient centered.
Empty calories, in other words.
Empty calories, and this is full of nutrient dense calories.
So ostensibly, if I'm hearing you right, basically 1 or 2 shakes a day would make the equation or even higher.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've been doing this for years. Okay, listen, I'm not complimenting myself, but I'll be 57 in December, and people are like, "Oh wow, you look great." When you give to your body, okay, your cells continue to replicate. Okay, all aging is cell death. Okay, and oxidation. Most people are eating oxidation. Most people are eating radiation because of microwaving food, and I could go on and on and on, the seed oils and all that stuff. So if you want to preserve yourself, okay, eat from the rainbow. I mean, look at gorillas and chimpanzees. Look how they eat. Okay, I'm not saying that there's like a direct connection, but there kind of is, sort of. I'm not getting into evolution. I'm not getting into all that. But you know what? It can't hurt with getting these super nutrient dense foods, because that's all they eat all day. Okay, they don't go to a Chipotle. They don't go to I mean, we got to go to supermarkets, but you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
eating that nutritious food, oh wow, look at that beautiful colored fruit. I'm going to eat it, and there's lots of nutrition in there. Oh wow, look at that banana. Okay, look at that. And your body's going to get what it needs, because physiologically, John, we haven't changed for a long time. And look what's changed since the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like they're going through a Gorilla Mart drive-through to pick up their stuff today. But I think the overarching point you're making is that
Right.
God gave us everything we needed from the very beginning. And if we just get back to our roots,
Literally,
that's the
it's
key.
like, God blessed us with air. God blessed us with sunshine. God blessed us with fruit from the Garden of Eden. It's like that apple that shouldn't be sprayed. The apple, the organic apple, okay,
Yeah.
that has a lot of benefits to the human body. There's a lot of fruits and vegetables that are very similar to our organ systems. I mean, look at a walnut, for example. A walnut is high in phosphatidylserine and choline, which is really good for your brain. When you open up a walnut, it looks like your brain. So eat some walnuts. Don't eat a whole bag. Okay, eat some walnuts. Eat some pistachios.
Pecans.
Eat whole foods. We've gotten so far from the way we evolved. Okay, I mean, do you think if you go all the way back to Egypt and all the way back, what were they eating? They were just eating whole foods. Like, for example, if you lived in the desert, the fruit of choice was the date, the palm tree fruit. Okay, so if you were out in the desert and you're a Bedouin, if I'm saying it correctly, if you were one of those nomadic tribes, you knew if there was a palm tree that there was some really great fruit that had all of the sugars that the body needs.
Absolutely spot on, brother. And while we're on the subject, you were talking about the food in the air. Let's not forget the elephant in the room, so to speak. So we're talking about the animal kingdom. Water. You see me drinking water as we go through just to stay hydrated. But as we've discussed many times before, we can't trust the tap water, and even distilled water or bottled water that we get has plastic microbes in it. So you've invented, or Dave and Amy have invented a product. I don't know if you can see it here. I'll try to
that's
zoom in
the
over Aqua Vibrance.
Yeah, the Aqua Vibrance. That's a real amazing product. When Fukushima happened in Japan, they used that to treat, a lot of the water, not the water in and out of the reactor, but that actually depletes a lot of black mica actually depletes a lot of negative stuff in the water.
Yeah, because the thing is, depending on your filtration system, whether you have one built into the house or you have a portable water filter like I do, and I have a really good one that gets rid of radiation, even take it a step further, this still compensates for the plastic microbes and so on and so forth until companies start going back to glass, which we need to go back to drinking water from said glass, or copper or silver, which I'm starting to implement as well. I'm hearing great things about that, obviously, with the metals. And so, I think this has had an impact. And you made a good point about it, because it's portable. You could take it with you to a restaurant if you even eat out anymore these days with the crazy prices there. You can just drop it into what they put in the tap water, and that can neutralize it.
And even like, I may be going on a cruise in next year, and I don't like drinking out of plastic bottles. And, I may bring that because it'll actually drop out a lot of those chemicals in the water, so, I mean, the glyphosate that's in the water, you name it. I mean, I don't even drink out of cans because of the aluminum. I mean, I drink Mountain Valley. We live in a condo, so I don't drink the water out of the faucet here in Florida, but I do buy Mountain Valley in glass.
Right.
And then I make my shakes with that.
Also, like, I'm not brand dropping here, just sharing, but I also like Aqua Panay from Italy. Had good experience.
That's a good brand. Yeah,
a really good brand. It's a little more, but I do notice it's a lot cleaner, and so this just helps add to that. Now, you mentioned a cruise. You're going on a cruise with a lot of different eccentric people, depending on which cruise brand you're going to consort.
Yeah.
How do you maintain your diet in a place that is largely gluttonous?
Yeah, you know what? Because I always, how do I say this? I'm going to say it like this, okay? I find my freedom within my discipline. So when I go on a cruise, I'm not eating a piece of pizza with the cheese off of it because I don't eat the flour. I don't know where the bread comes from. I think that way. Most people, they just go off, okay? Believe it or not, on the cruises that I've been on, because I'm not a cruiser, but I've been on some good cruises. Apex, Celebrity Apex was a very like almost Ritz-Carlton level cruise, and the food was really good, and they had quinoa for me, and they had like kale, and whether it was organic or not, it was a comforting place for me. Okay, whereas other people around me were like three times the size of me, and I know why, because every American is supersized. So I can't control if something's been genetically modified or not, or if it's organic or not. I could stay in my lane and like have my salad, have my quinoa, have my fruit in the morning because there's lots of fruit, and I could thrive. So this cruise that I may be going on, it's not 100%. The Purium always comes with me, John. That's the best thing. It's the best fast food ever. You could bring your Power Shake everywhere. You could bring your dark berry protein everywhere. You could bring the Purium supplements everywhere. Okay. I travel all over the world. I mean, I've been Japan, Dubai, Turkey. I've been all over the place. And guess what? My every day is the same. My health never goes on vacation. You ever hear the people, oh, I'm on vacation. Okay, so is that license to abuse your body, drink alcohol, destroy your gut microbiome, inflame your brain? Listen, folks, it's your body. God bless you. But long story short, going on vacation should not be a license to abuse yourself. Because when I go on vacation, first of all, I love staying and looking fit and feeling great and enjoying every minute that God has given me.
Yeah, it's the same axiom, Ian, absolutely. As you know, the
Yeah.
holiday season we're coming into. Oh, it's just
Oh, it's the
Thanksgiving. Oh,
holiday.
it's just Christmas, just Hanukkah. And I mean, it's fine. I mean, but again, what's your motivation? You know, what's your
Yeah.
discipline? You know, people that are using this product understand they want to better their health, and
Yeah.
that requires a level of discipline and structure, which is good.
You know, I want to be the example. I want to be the potential because our fellow Americans, I'm talking to all of you out there because I know John has lots of subscribers. You all own a body, and more often than not, it's not being taken care of the best it can. I don't want to offend anybody, but more often than not, it's the truth. And if you let some of this wisdom into your life and you have one power shake a day, okay, and you cut out the Coke and the Pepsi and a beer every night and a glass of wine, because those two things, the wine and the beer, more often than not have glyphosate, which is a weed killer, which is very detrimental to your health. But if you have a power shake a day will optimize your body on a cellular level every day.
I mean, it's become my breakfast along with coffee, and
Good.
it keeps me until the afternoon, and I don't get those hunger cravings from the carbs I used to get. So that's one of the big things
Yeah.
you know, Ian, when I lived in New York years ago, there was an old sign. There's a school out there, you know, Parsons School of Design.
13th Street.
Right. On I believe it was what 26th and 7th, 8th, that area. For
Route 6 and
those
7th Avenue.
yeah,
Yeah.
those from New York will know it well. And they used to have the signs. Now they have the scrollers on the subways, and they had an axiom that always stayed with me: "You're good, but you could be so much better."
Mm-hmm.
And I took that to heart because I think that speaks to what you're talking about. Is we are doing okay, but okay is not good enough. We can do better. We can take it a step further.
Right. Right. Every day is the opportunity to improve thyself. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm big into personal development. I listen to, Napoleon Hill, 40 years later, on my bike when I'm riding outside because, you could always become great, but you got to think great thoughts. Think great about what you put in this body. This body is your vehicle. Okay? It's your vehicle. And if you don't take care of your vehicle, it's going to break down like a car does. If you don't take care of your tires and you don't replace them, calamity is going to happen. If you don't change your oil, calamity is going to happen. If you don't check your engine when it says check engine light, calamity is going to happen. If you continue to, not service your body on a daily basis with proper nutrition, you're gonna have issues, which are human dysfunction situations.
Yes, and it's also mindset, how you think, and the people that you consort around. You know, hang around with people that are positive, solution oriented, can do people that have an attraction mindset of positive thinking, which will lead to success. And however you define success, not just relegated to money. You know, it's again quality of life, people you
Yeah,
consort,
it's
you know,
you know
type of thing.
John, for me, it's everything these days. I mean, I get a lot of sh dot 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 from people. Okay, I get a lot of it because of how into my health I am. Okay,
Mhm.
they are not going to be living in my body if I have fried food. If I have fried food, I have aches and pains. I don't want that. Okay, if I abstain from going here because I know what they're serving me and they don't care what they're serving me, they just want my money. Long story short, it's a conscious lifestyle decision by incorporating changes into your life. Okay, like Dave Sandoval. Dave Sandoval has changed, tens and tens and tens of thousands of people's lives because we built in a lifestyle system for people. Okay, health is wealth until you don't have the wealth anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And so again, everything kind of, goes hand in hand, I think is
Yeah.
kind of the overarching point. So one last thing I want to show the audience before
Sure.
we sign off for today, and I've shown this before, but I thought it was important as a reprise. Let me know when you can see this. This is something you sent me months ago, and I've used it periodically. This
Yeah.
has, let me zoom in on this a little bit. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, this is a wonderful lifestyle program. Now, Purium does have the ultimate lifestyle transformation, but for people that don't want to alter their day to day, you could factor in products that we shared with you today. But these are some healthy categories that one could introduce into their life and minimize the pizza, the soda pop, the ice cream, the fried food, and all the things that are going to get you eventually if you continue to consume them because of the damage that they do to our organ systems. So these whole foods and these choices are better off that you incorporate into your day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, what I was going to say to you earlier is, a good friend of mine, Garrett, gave me a good axiom and that complements what you mentioned before. Everything you say yes to, you have to say no to something else. So
Right.
it's choices. What do you're sacrificing something for the greater good, but your body will thank you for it, and your mind and everything else, kind of your engine follows. So that's just a diet that people could use to help supplement if they're on the road
Yeah.
to health, or maybe if they've, strayed off of it, a pathway to help them back was kind of the point of that. So as we conclude today's podcast, Ian, what final thoughts do you have for the audience?
I just, because you just said a word diet. Okay. The thoughts that you think, okay, you could have a healthier diet. The food that you eat, you could have a healthier diet. Okay. I want you to think about living a healthier lifestyle, which encompasses proper thought as well as what you consume, because what you consume, you become. What you think, you become. Think about that for a second. Okay. Really, really deep and true. So you want to think positive thoughts and you want to bless your body. God blessed us with this beautiful body. Okay. Take care of it. He wants you to take care of it. So if you go to church, okay, and you have an illness, you could pray all you want. Bless it. But you need to pray over your body and the decisions that you make. That will ultimately give you the greatest reward, which is the reversal of a health challenge, because most people build it in their bodies every day. Okay, every day, because it's just what people do. So don't be one of those people and gravitate towards some of these amazing foods that will literally give you what you want the most, which is time, quality of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ian, also there's since you mentioned church, for those who are believers, and there's many on my channel, Proverbs 23:6 sort of vets that out. As a man or woman thinketh, so they become. So it's
James
actually
Allen.
it's biblical what you're saying. So as you are a sponsor to the channel,
Yeah.
those people know I've been working with you for a while with Purium. So if you're interested in taking a look at Purium, you can go to ishoppurium.com. That link will be right below this video. Just take a look below us. You'll see it. ishoppurium.com. And my promo code is capital J, capital D, health, JD health. And you automatically get $50 off as a coupon for your first order. Anything over $75 or 25% off.
Yes.
Anything over $199. Is that correct, Ian?
Yes, that is correct.
And if you're in California, if you're in the Southern California area, you can actually pick it up at the location Rancho Dominguez/Compton, or just have it FedExed if you're obviously not in California or in close proximity to picking it up. So there is a variety of options for you. And the staff there at the location is very supportive, very helpful. Amy sits right there at the desk right there, one of the CEOs. So they're happy to help with any questions you have. So you'll get a lot of support with this company. So thank you, Ian, for your time. Co-branding
Welcome,
partner
man. Happy to be here.
from Imperium. Thanks for being here. We look forward to having you again on the next one. Take care and God bless.
Thanks. God bless, man.